Hey guys, taking a break. Well, as you can see by the title of the video, this is about being disabled and still homesteading. I get a lot of comments from people, oh, I'm disabled, I can't do that. This is my bandana. I French braided my hair, but I throw my bangs back if I'm doing anything, sweat like a pig. But I'm disabled. Most of y'all know I have MS. And I can do something for about 10 or 15 minutes at a time, and then I have to take a huge break. So, it's not really embarrassing, but, you know, I used to work 12, 14, 16 hours a day, and now what I have done in 4 months, I probably could have done in a week before my MS really hit me pretty bad. But I thought I would show you all how I do some of the things that I do, so you can see that yes, you can be disabled. It's going to take you longer, but you can still accomplish what you need to accomplish. It can be, you know, disheartening at times. It can be an aggravation at times. You want to finish doing what you're doing and you can't. Because you're, you know, in my case, my arms won't let me, my back won't let me, my legs won't let me. If it's too cold, I can't do it because it makes me hurt. If it's too hot and I start to sweat too much, then I start passing out. So I've got a lot of limitations, and it is disheartening. But I wanted to share with you all how I do what I do for those that think they can't. Anybody can do this if that's what you feel like you're led to do and you enjoy it. You know, the gardening. When I planted those onions and garlic, I sat on my butt between the rows with a pan of onion sets and garlic sets, and scooted the little tub with me and just scooted on my behind down the rows. I can't stand and bend over if I would have needed to do that. And I know I need to do my root shawl, but I got a spider bite right there and I'm waiting for that sucker to heal up. I'm not putting any bleach on my hair. The sun caught it and I saw it and I thought, ah. But anyway, this is the way I look when I'm working. You're not gonna, I don't doll up for anybody anymore anyway. So anyway, but I wanted to show you how I do things. So maybe I can encourage others. And you'll see why it takes me so long to get anything done. Now I'm taking my break now because I just went down to the garden and drove my truck. I rarely walk very far at all. If I do, I take my chair, and, you know, I'm to the point that I need to go, you know, a little ways behind the building to cut wood. And I carry my chainsaw out, I carry my chair out, I carry my drink out, and then I sit down and rest. And then I look around and I pick out a log, and by the time I get that chainsaw started, and it takes me forever, probably about 10 pulls because I'm not strong enough. And my neighbor, he can start it on 3, so it's not the chainsaw, it's me. I sit down and I take a break, I eyeball what I want to cut out. I get the chainsaw started, and I waste a lot of gas, but then I have to sit down and rest because I can't yank it. I can't hold the chainsaw and yank it, you know, like you see people do, and I think everybody tells you that's not a safe way to do it anyway, but mine's got a chain lock on it. But I sat down and rest. It's wasting that gas while that sucker's sitting there running. And then I get up and I, you know, cut a few, you know, logs. And for my stove, I need them about this big. I can eyeball it. And you know, maybe if it's a 100-foot tree, I'm going to have to sit down 3 times and rest. And then I rest. And then I've got a little cart on wheels that I bought at Aldi for $24. It's awesome. I think it's sitting over on the other side of the building. Ethan was playing with it. If it is, because I'm going to take you out and show you something. I'll show you what I'm talking about. But then I sat down and rest, and I saw 5 or 6, 7 more. If it's early in the day, maybe I can take 10 cuts. Then I sit down and rest. Now I don't turn that chainsaw off, because it is harder on me to start that chainsaw than it is to actually cut the logs. But let me show you this morning. I've got 2 rows of potatoes to plant. My neighbor's gone, and I told him I'd get those planted for him. But I'm going to wait till it's cooler this evening. But I went ahead and took everything to the garden. Backed up to his garage, loaded it on my tailgate, drove over to the garden, parked my tailgate exactly where I needed to set it out. None of it's real heavy. I can't lift heavy stuff. And I set it out, and I was very fortunate. One of our little local stores, the milk company, won't take back the milk crates. Hallelujah. And he wanted rid of them. I can't even tell you now. Probably, let's see, the first load I got 12, and the second load I probably got another 12 or 15, and the third load, my truck was stacked, so probably got about 20 in that load. So we've used them to, I've used them to carry potatoes in. I've used them to stack them on the side, and on the side they'll hold 2 flats of vegetables. So I made shelves out of them. Today, what I have used them for, and used them before, is to carry rocks. That garden has been tilled for years, and every time it's tilled, still more rocks. We found 3 arrowheads. They were beautiful. But when I was setting and planting the garlic and I set in the wrong spot. Now the sun's moved in my eyes. The onions and garlic, I just threw the rocks out. Well, this land slopes, and my neighbor brought up, he had stacked some rocks, so I sat and helped throw them in the milk crates. Probably had 3 or 4 milk crates. They were a little bit heavy, so he had to come up and take them out of my truck for me. But y'all saw me cooking on my little, the first little outside grill area, and I had to level that. So I've got a big old pile of dirt over there. When the guy made the driveway, I don't know what he thought he was doing, but it's a huge pile of dirt. So I went over there with my chair and my shovel and my little thing on wheels, and shoveled, that thing about half full, because I was going to have to walk back with it and pull it, so I couldn't have it very heavy. And I would get Ethan looking at the plants, and, so I could stand and rest. And the second trip, I did take my chair, and I thought I was being brave. Felt pretty good that day, but nah, second load, I had to bring the chair. But let me show you what I did to this fire pit. I've got y'all on a tripod today. Oh, goodness. Okay, this was what took me a while this morning. The rocks that I had sat and thrown out, I also sat on my butt and lined up milk crates down the rows and threw rocks in milk crates. So let me see, where's that little thing? Turn y'all around. I don't see that little thing to turn y'all around. Let me see if I touch it. Nope, that's not gonna do it. It's not gonna let me show you. Okay, I'm gonna have to see if I can figure out if y'all can see. Yep, okay. Here is my, well, if I can figure out how to, here's my milk crates, rocks. And I will take one at a time. Why will this thing not turn around when you're videoing? I'm not supposed to, but anyway, y'all know me. He carried bigger rocks, my neighbor did, that's giving me the rocks. He carried bigger rocks up for me and put them where I wanted, and we dug around. And I was having a hard time getting up. See this little slope over here? I was having a hard time getting up that. So he brought rocks and set them for me. And Ethan and I put dirt around them, and we made steps. Nothing fancy, just dirt and a little bit of sand packed around it. But this slope required several inches for me to level out that grill, and we have a little bitty level. But this is what I did with it. Let me see. Can I see it? Yep. Here it is. I put dirt to level it, set the grill on top of it, and just dug a little hole. This is the way the Indians used to do it. They made fires in holes. And then I packed the rocks all around. And of course, this is wood that Ethan brought around for us to make a fire, but it's too big. So this is my little, when I want to heat coffee or fry Ethan an egg, this is the little fire pit. But we leveled that so I don't have, you know, tilted pots anymore. Now, back in October or November, I don't remember, I ordered one of those wrought iron post sets that has the hooks that you can hang your Dutch ovens, and it's got a grill on it that'll slide out that you can kick on it. And let's see, here is the little grill, fire pit. And then over here, I am going to, let me see if I can point my finger. Over here, I'm going to dig a bigger hole and set up my wrought iron set. And then eventually, and I'm going to have to have help to do that, we're going to dig post holes, and I'm going to cut down some of these smaller trees. There's some of the smaller in diameter trees. We're going to cut those down and stick them in a fire and char the bottom of them, burn the bark off. That helps to keep it from rotting in the ground. And we're going to use those and make a covering for us. And then I'm not quite sure where we're going to put the pizza oven, but one of the properties I looked at, we looked up on a dry bed river. It's wet right now, so that's the end of the summer when it'll dry out, and we'll make several trips up. And I used my grow bags last year. I took my sister up, and she got rocks for her flower beds. So I'm going to get rocks and make a pizza oven. I'm so excited about that. But this is kind of going to be our little outdoor kitchen. Now, I do have to level my picnic table. That was down at the river camp. My boys bought that for me for Mother's Day several years ago. Needs some boards replaced, but I was not getting rid of that. My babies bought that for me. So anyway, this took me, this little fire pit, let me see. That little fire pit took me 2.5 days to do. So, you know, it was slow, but, you know, I'd go in and lay down and lay on the bed. But I am going to put these rocks out on the edge of this, you know, little steep bank here, because up there where the well is, they, in the process of digging, just threw out tons of shale and sandstone powder. And I'm going to start digging that up, because if you can see my driveway, I've got muddy spots. And because of the trees on each side, I was a little bit limited as to how I could pull in every time. So, of course, I pressed down some of that big gravel. But that shale up there, and I'll show you in a little bit, because I'm going to have to drive up there. I'm going to show y'all how I'm going to do that. It's like asphalt up there around that. I mean, it really packs. So I figured it'd be really good. And we've got a whole week's worth of rain next week coming. So I thought, what a better time. It's cold today. And I do better working, not too cold, it's just chilly. It's probably in the 50s. But it's going to take me a little bit of time to do that. So that's my project for a little while today. I don't want to get too tired, because I want to go do a row of those onion or potatoes today. And I didn't time-lapse y'all the other day because my battery was dead. But I've charged my phone, and I'm hoping I can time-lapse y'all on planting at least a row of those potatoes, because I'm going to have to do, you know, a little bit and rest, a little bit and rest. Just being honest with y'all. Just worried about the people that think because they have a disability, they can't do this. You just, you know, every problem has a solution. You just have to figure out the solution that works for you. And that's what I have done. So I'm going to stop right now. I'm not dealing with these rocks today. Even though they're not even half full milk crates, I just have to dump them. I can't really lift them. But no farther than, let me see, get to the right side here. The well pump up there, I'm going to have to drive. If I tried to walk back and forth up there, I'd never get anything done. Oh, here is the bucket I was telling y'all about that I bring wood in. It's light as a feather. It's on 2 wheels. Not, well, let me see if I can get it. Not the best wheels in the world, but I think the way the hole is, if I change the axle, but it's not very deep. It's as light as it can be, and it tilts back, and I put wood in that, and I roll my wood. Now, I need to take this down with me because I do have to get wood after a while. I have to pace myself. I have to decide what I'm going to do in a day, and I'll put some of those rocks up there to be able to start on that new fire pit, and some here for the wall that we're gonna walk by my truck here, so y'all know how, let me see if I can carry this, long a truck is. This gravel's hard for me to walk on too. Here is, right, it starts right at the end of my truck. Here is my stack of firewood. So the length of my truck, and I purposely put it there because I didn't want it too far from the door. Oh, there's the other cabin. If I had the keys, I'd unlock it and take y'all in. I do have flooring down and a couple of beds in there. That took a whole weekend. But I needed this wood close, so I didn't have to pull this little cart full far. And to get me through a night and a day and the next night and the next morning when it's really cold, it takes 3 loads of just little round, and then some of this bigger. It takes me 3 loads in the building. So that takes me probably an hour and a half to get 3 loads of wood. Now, if Ethan's with me, it's a little faster because I get my porch is steel pallets. I pull on the handle and he lifts from the bottom, and oh my gosh, first time I did it when he wasn't here, I couldn't believe how strong he is, how big of a help it was. So it takes me a while to fill this little bucket full of, better get it out of front of my truck before I forget, run over it. Because let me tell you, this thing's a lifesaver. I need one of those, sorry I jolted y'all there, wheelbarrows with the 2 wheels on the front so it don't tilt. So I really don't have to use my strength to keep the wheelbarrow level. I can just, you know, wheel a little ways and set it down, wheel a little ways and set it down. But I'm going to move up here to the well, which is on the other side of the cabin right there. And drive my truck up there. It's got my tools in the back. And show y'all how I'm going to attempt to move that shell. Oh, and I am going to need this, so I have to put it in the back of the truck. But I hope I can inspire those of you all with disabilities. And I'm not doing this, please understand, I'm not doing this for anybody to feel sorry for me. I don't feel sorry for myself. I am blessed beyond belief. People with MS end up in wheelchairs and paralyzed or in bed. You know, I'm blessed. I'm still walking, y'all. I might not can walk very far, but I'm still walking. I'm still driving. I can do my own, you know, things at my own pace. So I don't want pity. I don't want y'all to feel sorry for me. I haven't really asked anybody. My son was coming up today, and Ethan's mama, and they were going to help me do several things that I cannot do without help. One being that stupid roll fencing. right there. Ethan and I like to never got it out of the truck. I pulled, he pushed. I pulled, he pushed. But there's no way. And I'm not putting up fence posts. Let me tell you, look at all these trees behind me. We're going to have to take some little trees out. Why in the world would I, you know, I've got some T-posts, but I'm using them to put cattle panels for snap peas on. And I'm going to use more cattle panels for hoop coops. One for a greenhouse, couple of coops for the chickens. But why do I want to spend money on T-posts when I can take advantage of what God gave me on this land? Nature, Mother Nature let grow these trees. We're going to nail up to the trees. But anyway, back to that. You know, I'll take any prayer I can get. Lord knows I love prayer. Pray for y'all all the time. Pray for everybody I know. But no, I don't want pity. I want to inspire. You know, those people that have said to me, I'm disabled, I can't do that. Well, I'm going to show you. It might take forever and probably will get a lot done if something happens that negatively impacts us all and everybody that's coming ends up here, and then we can pitch in and everybody help get more done in a week than probably I've gotten done in 4 months. But so it's not for pity. Please understand. It's not for pity. It's not for you to feel sorry for me. I'm blessed. I am so blessed. My mom had MS. She walked till the day she died. Her dad, we believe, he had the symptoms. He was never diagnosed. But he had so many of our symptoms that we truly believe that that is the line. My mother's father's genes is where the MS came through. And he walked till the day he died. So I'm blessed. My trigger is stress. Lord knows I am not stressed when I'm at this place. This work, I don't let it stress me. It will get done. I have got a roof over our heads. We have beds to sleep in. We have food stored. We have food growing there. I'm going to put some food up here where it gets sun a whole lot. Put it in the ground. We have chickens. Going to get rabbits. And then because I am in a farming community, which is what y'all would consider a prepping community, I'll have access to pork and beef and even more chickens if I, you know, need the chicken. But I'm blessed, y'all. Please don't feel sorry for me. And understand, I went live looking the way I look because this is the way I look when I work. I could care less how I look when I'm working. And I'm going to put that old bandana back and push these bangs back so they don't get in my way and cause me to sweat. But I just want to take you along for a little bit of my day and let you see how I do what I do. And maybe that'll give you ideas of how you can do some things. So having a disability does not mean you cannot do this. And, you know, y'all know I sold my camp on the river to do this. I would have sold my house that I have and still may to do this, to do more because I'm doing it debt-free. Don't have debt. That is your first priority, you know, getting a source of food, water, get the snot out of debt. What do you think they're going to do to you, even if the, you know, goes to crypto or whatever? How are you going to pay that stuff? Most people can't pay what they have now if they've lost their jobs. So if there's a will, there's a way. If God directs you, he's going to give you a way. You know, they're talking about the wells running dry. I have the deepest well here, 280 feet. They hit a good spring. The water was coming out about 3 gallons a minute. And he went deeper and hit an actual vein of water. And now it's 10 gallons a minute, which is plenty. He could have gone deeper. He could have made it faster. That's plenty. That's all we need. But it's 280 feet deep. So, you know, this is where God led me. They're talking about wells running dry. You know, I know some people here have 30-foot wells. They might go dry, but I don't think this one's going to go dry. God put me here, and he will see a way. So, okay, I'm going to shut this down now, and when we start back, we're going to be shoveling up some shale and filling in these wet spots in my driveway. Okay, y'all, I am up here at the well. May have to move my chair a little closer, but I'm going to show y'all how I'm going to start this, and may have to move my chair closer, but it's in the sun, the shell's in the shade, and as long as I don't get hot, that helps me do just a little bit more. But I'm going to show y'all, and I may end up sitting in my chair doing it, but I'm going to show y'all how I'm going to start to wear out, okay? I don't think y'all have ever seen all of me standing up. This is just a little pick and mattock. Oh, it's going to break up easier than I thought. Okay. And it has some clay in it. That's good. Okay. Here's the part that'll get me. See, that load was too heavy, so I dumped part of it off. I guess y'all are close enough to see. Looks like that's a lot of clay there, so I want this shell. And of course, this is the pile that's easier. It's not compacted. The trucks have run over a lot. Can't dig on it long. Can't bend over, y'all. Never looked close enough. I don't get mail here. Okay. One more. It's got too much clay. I want that shell. I can do one more. I'll try to push myself a little bit. One or two. Okay. I won't be able to roll that if I get it any deeper. So let me show you how deep it is in this bucket. Let me see. That's it. That's as deep as it is. Okay. Now, my first muddy spot isn't very far, okay? So I'm not going to drive my truck to the first muddy spot. If I can, I might have got a little bit too heavy. It's going downhill. See. Nope. I'm not strong enough to control it. Okay. So see, I didn't take very many steps. Okay, let me set y'all down again. Well, you can't see what I'm doing. Let me set you over here so you can see what I'm doing. You might be downhill a little bit. Oh yeah, there's the bucket. 4 steps. 4 steps, y'all. Okay. And I'm going to have to tilt it over. If I can get it tilted over. See, I struggle, even with it halfway. That's okay. Eventually, I'll get it done. Okay. I'll have to use my hand. It's too heavy. You notice I'm holding on to this sucker because I can't bend over and get back up. If I bend over, I might hit the ground in front of y'all and scare you to death. But that's one of my disabilities. I can't bend without holding on to something. All right. Yep, so I had to get half of it out of there to be able to do it. Okay, but it's done. It's done. That's all that matters. It's done. Okay. Let's take these few steps because I planned poorly. And this little thing kind of stabilizes me. 10 steps to the truck. Okay. Oh, man. Oh, man, I don't have my rake, y'all. Oh, geez. I do. Let me sit y'all down and see if I can get this rake. Well, it's tangled up in feed sack pieces. Okay, now it was tangled up around, well, it was laying beside my bale of hay. I go to a feed store where I walk in and pay it right at the front door, back my truck up, they load it for me. Get it home, my boys unload it for me. And I was in such a hurry to get out yesterday, I forgot to have anybody to unload the straw for me. Okay, so my legs are hurting a little bit because I had to bend over. And I try to bend over, try to do exercises, you know, to try to strengthen those muscles. But, okay, now we've stood in the same spot for a few minutes. And we're going to take it easy. Thank goodness I have this rake. I can use it to stabilize myself on this gravel. And we're going to walk back down here. And I'm going to spread this shell out. And then I will take a break. That's it. That will be all I can do. That'll be it. So let me stand you back over here. Let me see if you can see that. I've got y'all unlevels. I'll get out. Oh, whoops. Almost dropped you. Almost dropped you. Let's see. Can you see it? No, not quite. Yep, you can see it there, but the back leg is... I fixed that. I think you can see me. We'll use the back of the shovel. I mean the rake, hopefully. No, y'all really can't see that. No, you can't. Now you can. See, I'm not very far away from it. But hopefully, see there's some little chunks. The weight of the rake will break that up for me. I'll just have to lift it a few times. So, stretch it out. Now I want it pretty thick. So I don't want us to mash it down. And it does have clay in it, so that'll help. want it pretty thick because the weight of the vehicle will mash it down. My truck will mash it down. Okay, that's it, guys. That's all I can do. And I've had y'all on full time. I didn't stop you. It was full time. That's all I can do. Well, probably should have got this over here just a little more. Let me see if I can do a couple of rakes using my hand and my shoulder. Okay. Oops, sorry. That's it. That is absolutely it. That's all I can do. Okay. So, what my brain wants me to do is say, oh my God, I would be able to fill this driveway in the length of time it took me to do that. But what I have to say is, thank God I got one of the holes filled, you know? Now, I don't know how long that took me. It took me about 11 minutes from the time I started till the time I sat down. So, 11 minutes. And I will sit here until my legs aren't hurting, the sun warms me up. Well, not till my legs aren't hurting, till my legs are tolerable, let me put it that way. And then I'll do another one. See, I've got 1, 2, 3, I've got 4. I've got 4 to do. And I'm not quite sure what time it is. It's probably about 11 o'clock. I've been trying to learn how to tell time with the sun and how it is. So I think it's probably about 11 o'clock. So it'll take me a couple hours to do this. But when I stop and grab a bite to eat, I'll have it done. And I don't eat till, you know, late, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, whenever I feel hungry. But this is an all-day deal. But I'll get it done. And if the next load is too much for me and I can't do it today, all day, taking my time, then I'll finish it tomorrow. You just don't sweat the petty stuff, y'all. I mean, you just can't. You do it when you can do it, how you can do it. But, you know, that's a few ways that, you know, I'm going to try to show you some ways that I do it and how I can live with it and stand it. And typically, because I was videoing, I would have shoveled that, rolled it down there, and then I would have sat down. I wouldn't have dumped it, and I wouldn't have raked it, because the last thing I want to do is get my muscles cramping and get myself in a bad shape. But you learn what your disabilities are, and then you sit and you problem solve, and you figure a way out of working around it. You know, we did it when we were healthy. We always have things that we can't do. Especially women. If you have a man around, it's pretty easy, but you just figure out a solution. That's, you know, that's all you do. So, I'm not going to show you this entire day of filling these 4 holes. Ooh, there's a sweat bee. I'm not even sweating. Go away. Glad the bees are here. Going to plant some flower seeds so we can get more bees out here, not back there where I am, because I am very allergic to bees. It's going to be 34 degrees tonight. I'm not going to plant any seeds. Dying to get that medicinal herb garden started, but after I do this today, I may not even get a row of the potatoes planted. If I do, great. You know, if I get to rest a couple of hours and go down there and piddle around with it, that's awesome. The stuff's already there. But if I don't get to do it tonight, I'm not going to worry about it. It'll get done tomorrow, or it'll get done Monday. You know, you just do what you can do. So I hope this inspires you That's what I want. Start problem solving. Start thinking, you know, I've got a set of those little clamp pincher things, you know, that I need to bring up here. And I need to bring one of my walkers up here. And I do like to try to at least walk through the house, and sometimes if I'm unsteady, that's the only good thing about the grocery store. I can hold on to the shopping cart so I don't trip or whatever. But I do have a hard time with this gravel, so I try to stay off of this gravel. And I did. Here it is. I'm going to show you. Well, y'all know I got my tools out of the truck. I did drive the truck just that little distance, so that would save me steps and give me more steps to do this. Now, if I could lift that little thing onto the tailgate of my truck, I would fill it halfway up, and I would drive it down to the next hole. That's what I would do. I'm telling you, I'm not lying to you. But, you know, I may do what I should have done with that first one and take my time and fill it halfway up, because y'all saw halfway up I struggled to get it empty, and take my, you know, put my chair and stuff back up, you know, down there, and set up my chair and fill up that hole, and just take it, you know, a step at a time. If I get those two done today, I'll be thrilled. The third one and fourth one really catches a lot of water. But you got to start somewhere. Maybe I should have started at the back, but it's farthest distance, and I've got to sit here and figure out a path to more easily get that little cart half full of this shale and roll it down there. But I'll figure out a way. I will try to bypass as many of those gravel. I had to cross the driveway, so I couldn't bypass gravel. The rest of it, I can bypass most of the gravel. So just wanting to inspire you. Think of problem solving skills. If you think of anything that I could have done a little easier, let me know. I'm willing to try anything. But right off the top of my head, been thinking about it. Well, not off the top of my head. I've been thinking about this for a couple of weeks. Every time it rained and had all those mud puddles, how I was going to do this. And I knew I wanted to use this shale. And that is the best thing I could come up with. So anyway, that is all I have. This is inspiration. Just inspiration, y'all. One step at a time. And I literally meant one step at a time. One project at a time. One step at a time getting that project done. But however you can figure out to do it, that you can do it, that's what you need to do. So, I'm not sure I'm going to put anything else on this video. I think this is probably about it. I do the wood the same way. I take the cart over to the wood and I load the wood, and each piece of wood's a little heavy. I can only put 5 pieces, sometimes 6 if there's a small one, pieces of wood in that. And by the time I hold on to the trees, that's another reason, you know, they're in between the trees to help keep them stacked, but so I can hold on to them or brace myself. I will put 5 or 6 pieces of wood in that. I'll leave it set. I'll sit down, I'll have a break, then I'll roll it to the porch, then I'll leave it set, and then I'll take it in the house, in the cabin, I'll leave it set, and then I'll take it out of that cart. You know, I could push and do probably that in 2 steps instead of 4 steps, but I pay for it. I pay for it dearly. If I do that, then I can do absolutely nothing for 2, 3, 4 days. So I'm trying to figure out how to really do it in baby steps so I can be a little bit more steady, and the little bit of exercise is good for me. So I won't show you the wood deal. It's the same way I'm doing this shell, you know, that's broken up. But I love ya. Problem solve. Think of ways that you can do things. I would encourage you, if you've got equity in your home and you can go out and buy a piece of land, and, you know, even if you can find something, you know, with a little house in it or a mobile home, or You know, sometimes I wish instead of getting these buildings, I would have looked for a used camper. But, you know, that stuff really don't last. Mobile homes don't last either, or any better than this stuff. So, but do what God leads you to do and figure out a way. So, don't, you know, I'm not using my disability as an excuse. I'm praising God that He led me. I'm here, and I'm going to figure it out until I have more help. And I will. I haven't really asked for help. As long as I can do this, I'm going to keep doing it. So, beauties, I love you all. I hope this inspires you. Even if you have things around your home you think you can't do, figure it out. Problem solve. Find a way to do it. Think of how, if your kids wanted to help you do something, how would you make things manageable for them? So anyway, I wanted to share it. Looking like a hot mess, but, you know, that's just part of the deal. So anyway, I love you all. Appreciate you watching. Pray for you. Pray for this craziness. Pray. Keep the demons away from you. And just keep on going, one step at a time. Remember, we're working on that bounty on a budget. And with God's blessings, the garden will be a bounty. This homestead will be a bounty. You know, I have a roof over my head, a bed to sleep on, and within a couple of weeks, I'll have that well pump in there and actually water running. So, truly blessed, truly blessed. It's like camping out, but I love it. That's some of the happiest times of my life as a kid growing up. We had different campers and always camped out, and the river's not far. I can go fishing. So it's a blessing, a true blessing. And sit down and have a talk with God. See where you're led to go, what you're led to do. But, you know, if I had equity in my house and I was in a city, yeah, I'd sell that stuff and start somewhere. And, you know, just do whatever you have to do. So anyway, love you all. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. You know, I appreciate every second of every video that you give me. And until next time, love you all.